Okay, so read this with me. If you are dissatisfied with your present expression of life, then you must, and that is exactly what I'm about to reveal to you in this video. Right, so if you are dissatisfied with your current life circumstances, right, your present expression of life, that is your current 3D facts, how your world looks like right now or who you are on the outside right now, then you must, and I want to explain this to you step by step because this will go deep and this will literally help you on your manifestation journey to actually see movement. And I want to start this video off using a quote from Neville, and he said this: "To rise in consciousness to the level of the thing desired, and to remain there until such level becomes your nature, is the way of all seemingly miracles." Right? So it is about rising in consciousness, right? And making that new level of consciousness natural. From there we manifest. But how does it work? What does that mean? I don't want to make this complicated. It's actually very, very easy. And I will share right now some Neville quotes with you to explain that. So let me put my image to the side and let's just dive right in. So if I be lifted up in consciousness, this is not speaking about doing something in your outside world to get your manifestation. No. If I be lifted up in consciousness, my inner reality, my inner world, to the naturalness of the thing desired, I shall draw the manifestation of the desire to me. Right? I shall draw it to me. It's a result of us first having risen internally to that level of consciousness where we have what we want to have, where it's now natural for us that we have the desire in our life. My consciousness is the Father who draws the manifestation of life to me. The nature of manifestation is determined by the state of consciousness in which I dwell. I'm always drawing into my world that which I am conscious of being. So what we learn from the second part here is that manifestation is the result, it's always happening, determining or based on the identifications that we have alive inside of us, right? The state we're in. And the state of consciousness is basically a collective body of beliefs, identifications, convictions, assumptions. That all summarized is expressed in our life continuously. And if you don't like that, then it's not about changing our life. It's more like changing the inside, which expresses life, right? Life is not happening to you. Life is happening through you. So from within to without, we have to within realign ourselves. So, and now we come to this very important quote that I shared at the very beginning, which is that if you are dissatisfied with your present expression of life, and it might happen from time to time, right? That we find ourselves being entangled in undesired circumstances, that we get a new desire, that something triggers us all of a sudden, that we feel stuck or limited and we know there is more possible, a better life, this better version of ourselves, achieving this desire, manifesting this goal, whatever it is, right? When that is the case, then you must, and now I reveal what in the beginning I have, not revealed to you, then you have to be born again. Well, what does that mean? It sounds very esoteric, that sounds very mystical. What does that mean? Rebirth is dropping of the level with which you're identified right now and rising to the level of consciousness which you desire to express and possess. So very, very important. I really want you to understand this. If there's anything in your world right now that you're dissatisfied with, if there's any desire that you have present in your life right now, and that means that you are not fully satisfied with how things are, otherwise you would not desire for a change, right? So whatever desire you have, you must be born again. But it was speaking about a spiritual rebirth, not really a, physical body rebirth and reincarnation, stuff like that. No, rebirth is dropping of that level with which you are dissatisfied with. So we have to basically leave the state, we have to leave the reality we're in right now, and we have to rise internally, right, within consciousness. We have to rise to that level, we have to align to that version of ourselves that already possesses what we want to possess, that already is who we want to be, that already has the circumstances how we want to have them, right? Because then that new level of consciousness is also expressing new circumstances. So to get new circumstances, we have to shift and realign within our internal world. We have to shift into the end state. We have to shift to the state of the wish fulfilled to already be what we want to have and who we want to be. Taking your attention from one state and placing it upon the other, you die to the one from which you have taken it, and you live and express the one with which you are united. Really, really key part here, right? Let's just say you are in a state of, you have some health issues, some health issues, okay? Well, if you constantly keep looking at it, keep trying to solve it, therefore you will probably be also very reactive towards it, and you keep it alive, that is not going to really, shift you into the state of health. But let's just say you take your attention from the problem, right, from the state that you're in right now, and you place your attention fully on the state of health, fully on the state of being symptom-free. I just take the health area as an example. This is the same for relationship. If right now there's undesired relationship circumstances, or you're lonely, you're not with the desired partner, well, the more you place your attention there, the more that is what you give life. The more that is what you, let's just say, keep alive as a state of not having it, of not being it. Well, what do you then expect the mirror of life to reflect back, right? But if you place your attention on the desired state, that is what you give life to. That is what you awaken, right? And as we read here, that state will then be expressed because you are united with it. You are in this state. You have internally shifted into the end state of now being who you want to be. But here we come to a very important part of this whole slide presentation right now, because this is what Neville said. Man cannot see how it would be possible to express that which he desires to be by so simple a law as acquiring the consciousness of the thing desired. The reason of this lack of faith on part of man is that he looks at the desired state through the consciousness of his present limitations. Therefore, he naturally sees it as impossible of an accomplishment. This is why a lot of people, suffer when it comes to consciously manifesting. This is why a lot of people feel exhausted and they exhaust themselves because they try more from their present state. Right? They try and do this and try this from who it is that they are right now, from their current level of consciousness. Let me explain that. Right? So first of all, there are two things that are important here. People cannot understand, right? They cannot see how it is possible to express a new desire, to express new circumstances, to manifest a new desired outcome by such a simple thing as acquiring the consciousness of the thing desired, right? By basically elevating ourselves to that level, to seeing the world from that point of view of already having achieved the goal, right? So basically imaginatively experiencing that we are already it, internally aligning ourselves to that version of us that is already experiencing the desire, for whom it is naturally to have it. And the reason why people believe that, they can't manifest it and this is difficult and all of that, is that they look at their desired state. So someone who has never earned more than $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month, but their desire is to, have a more financial stable income, and they say, what, actually I really much desire like $10,000 a month. That would imply to me a certain level of freedom, a certain level of abundance, a certain level of, feeling empowered when it comes to money. But they think this is not possible because they look at this desired state through the lens of making just $2,000 a month. And they say, wow, 2,000, wow, 10,000 is high, 10,000 is much, 10,000 is far away, right? Because they think of it. They see the desire from what their circumstances are right now. They're basically not zooming out and seeing, oh, the state I'm identified with right now is as available and possible as the state of $10,000 a month. If you look at 10,000 through the lens of making 2,000, of course it will seem difficult. Of course it will seem high. Of course it will seem, like as a big amount. But from zooming out, from consciousness point of view, in which like all states exist, right? Like a storehouse in which every item exists from the top, so to speak. It's not that this item is more difficult than this item. Only if we look from our current level at the desired one, it seems difficult. Right? So therefore, he naturally sees it as impossible of accomplishment because it seems far away. This letting go of your present identity is not as difficult as it might appear to be. Right? So we oftentimes think, because we are so entangled, because we're so identified with our current state, we think it is difficult. We think it might take very long time. We overcomplicate it. You take your attention away from your problem, as I said earlier, and you place it upon just being. This is exactly what I just said. Please listen closely. This slide presentation is like a whole summary of how manifesting works. So what I said just a minute ago, if we go back right here, is that again, I said it's for a lot of people, it's difficult to manifest, or they seemingly difficult to manifest because they see their desired state, who they want to be, what they want to have from who they are right now. So therefore, of course, it seems like, wow, that's the 3x of what I earn right now. That's the opposite of what I have present in my life right now. But if we zoom out, like I also said, and view it from the bigger picture and see state A is equally possible and equally available as state B, the state that I want to be in, then we see, wow, from consciousness point of view, from a bigger picture point of view, it's not that one state is more harder to explain, more harder to achieve. And this is what Neville said, right? You take your attention away from your problem and place it upon just being, right? You rest simply as being aware, observing, calmness, blank slate. You silently but feelingly say, I am, right? I am. You're not saying, I am earning $2,000 a month. I am right now not with my desired partner. I am right now not in the financial position I want to be. I am right now having the health symptoms. No, that's the state you come from. From that, you zoom back and you just say, I am. This is just the state you have fallen into, basically. But now you zoom out to the whole canvas and not just to the little drawing on the canvas. You just become the blank slate, that your I am, your awareness, right? Do not condition this awareness. This is what life is, right? Life is our awareness conditioned, expressed, right? So awareness is unconditioned, right? It's unconditional. It is pure awareness, but it's always expressing states because we are identified with those states. And if you want to identify with a new state that you seem as very difficult or far away or hard to attain, then it's first of all very important to become the blank slate, to go to your I amness, rest as awareness, and be in this relaxed state, right? Do not condition this awareness, but continue declaring quietly, I am. Just, I am. I exist. I'm alive. I'm present. I am here and now, right? Not losing yourself in the identifications in the states. Simply feel that you are faceless and formless and continue doing it until you feel yourself floating, right? Until you really feel freed from all of these identifications that you previously were, like, united with and identified with. Give form to the new conception by claiming and feeling yourself to be that which you, before you entered this state, before you entered, this aware state, basically, desired to be. Right? Now that you are basically, now you can choose freely, right? It's like, imagine you are in your living room and you want to be in your kitchen, and your kitchen is next to your living room. What is easier? To go directly to the wall, like through the wall, to crash through the wall and be in your kitchen, or to go to the floor and then select, okay, from the floor, I now go to the kitchen. Same with shifting states, right? Of course, when you're in the state of, I never made more than $2,000 a month and I want to make $10,000 a month, and never in my business achieve more than this, but I really desire this level of success. For 3 years, I've not been with my desired partner in my desired relationship, but I really want that. From that current state, the desired state, who you want to be, what you want to have, might seem, oh, but how is this possible? Wow, that will take long. I don't know. How will this work out? How will this play out? How will the bridge look like? So we can't understand from our current level. But if we zoom back and we see, oh, that was my current level, but my desired level also does exist, and then you choose that, right? Then you claim that. Then you feel yourself into the new level, then it's way easier because you have first zoomed back. You will find that within this formless depths of yourself, this formless deep, let's just say, dimension of yourself, all things appear to be divinely possible. Because everything exists inside of you. The kingdom of heaven is inside of you. Every potential state is inside of you. The outside is, in a sense, dead. But this is for 99.9% of people, this statement won't make sense, so forget that. But everything on the outside is animated still from within. So if you want to see something new on the, on your screen of space, in your external field, in your expression, in your dream of life, then it comes from within. So you have to within first, be your desired self, be in your desired state, and then that is expressed. But everything is divinely possible because every potential does exist. Because creation is finished. There can nothing be added or taken apart from creation. Everything is there. But not everything is expressed at the same time, right? We shift through those infinite potentials. Anything that you sincerely feel yourself to be while in this expanded state becomes, in time, your natural expression, right? So anything that you really identify with, everything that you abandon yourself to be, right? That you self-abandonment, right? We talked about this in previous videos, right? Really devoting yourself to the desired state and really fusing with it to fully be in that state will, in time, right? Because the 3D is a delayed mirror, will be your expression, will be expressed in your life. So you can now fully dive into the end state, and then that also will be expressed, which is what we do in this. That's why Neville said always in his lectures, let us go in this silence, right? We go to this silence where we're not identified with something, where we know ourselves, our true self, I am, right? That awareness. And then from there, we select, okay, I give my attention now to being this version of myself, to having achieved this desire. And we imagine it, right? We bring our attention to that state. What would imply it? And we start to identify with it more and more. And here's the final point. Unless man discovers that his consciousness is the cause of every expression in his life, he will continue seeking the cause of his confusion in the world of effects, and so shall die in his fruitless search. Right? It is fruitless to attempt to change the circumstances without having realigned ourselves within consciousness. Right? This is the world of effects. This is like, the after effect, where we see what we have basically done within, wittingly, unwittingly, what other people have imagined. It's also like expressed in this shared dream of life, in this shared 3D world, right? But there can be two people that stand in front of a building, they look at the same building, and one is in a state of financial wealth, and they think about buying it, whereas another person is in a state of art, and they think about redesigning it. So it's all we see the world differently, based determining which state we are. That will create our own unique experience of reality, right? What we call reality, we call this reality, but actually this is simply a mirror image of reality, because reality is within you, within consciousness. Like Neville said, his book, Consciousness is the Only Reality. It's not his book, it's its lecture or something. Right? So consciousness is the only reality. That is the cause of the external circumstances. So if we want new circumstances, what's the summary? We have to go to the cause. Where is the cause? The cause is within. We have to already be the change that we want to see in this world. And we have to fully shift within into that end state, so that those new circumstances, that our desires are expressed. If you need help with that, right? If you need help with aligning yourself within to a new state, shifting to an end state, shifting to the wish fulfilled, staying there, avoiding pitfalls, doing this in a proven system that I've been offering now since, I think, around 4 years. We right now are in our community over 370 people, and we have produced amazing success stories that you can all read if you want to, or not all of them, but a lot of them that you can read if you click on the link in the description. There's a link called My Program, and then there's also a link which leads you to my testimonials. There you can read a lot of them, successes in all life areas. So just if you feel like you should need help, right? You can try all of this by yourself. The knowledge is all here. I'm just saying this if you feel like you want to be in that like-minded space. You want to have a community around you. You want to have a system. You want to connect with me. You want to chat with me. You just want to, hang out with me in weekly calls, so we do in this community space. Then feel free to check it out. And if you want to watch my free masterclass, you also find that in the description. That is it for this video. I hope it made sense. Leave me your feedback in the comments. You can hit the like button as well, so that this message spreads and we reach more people. And I'm very excited to speak to you in the next one. Bye, guys.